Welcome back to the Panthers.com video mailbag presented by CEENTA. Staff writer Max Henson here answering your questions as the Panthers are happy to be back at home this week, playing a Seattle Seahawks team that's coming in with a 5-5 record. It's a big game. We got our first question. Why hasn't Cam run the ball lately? That's a good one. 2 rushes against Detroit and obviously a couple big plays there, particularly that 2-point conversion where he maybe could have tucked it and ran. Obviously we didn't see a lot of design runs as evidenced by that stat line. So that's the thing with Cam that tends to fluctuate. Obviously the game sort of dictates some of the calls coming from the booth as far as whether offensive coordinator Norv Turner wants to run him. And other times with Cam, it's a matter of whether he decides to tuck in and run himself or extend plays or scramble. And those situations just didn't come up for Cam against Detroit. He opted to sit in the pocket and deliver the football. So again, that's something that changes from week to week. And obviously with Cam, I expect that to continue to be a huge part of his game going forward. And I would expect to see a few more rushes against Seattle. Next question. There's a lot of people in Twitter land screaming for Samuel to get more snaps. Dude has scored on about 25% of his touches. What gives? Yeah, look, this is a big question, and I get it. Curtis Samuel, when he's been out there, has been very, very productive. You saw it again against the Lions, making that really nice touchdown grab later in that game. I think the situation right now is just that the coaches have their reasons for why he's out there as much as he is. I think it's something that we all have to exercise some patience. They obviously feel good about the role he's got right now, playing around that number of snaps, giving him those bucket of plays. And remember, this is still a young player in this league, and he's still kind of coming into his own. And while he's certainly making a case that he deserves more snaps, it's something to monitor as we go into the latter part of the season, and maybe we do see him out there more often and in more critical situations. Next question, toughest matchup against the Seahawks. I'll start with a pretty easy answer to that one, and that's Russell Wilson. I mean, every time we've seen the Panthers and Seahawks face off, you see Russell running around, making some plays, doing some magic, for lack of a better term, that we've seen Cam Newton do from time to time. He's just a difficult guy to corral, and he's so dangerous outside that pocket. Another name I'll throw out there, though, Frank Clark, defensive end for the Seahawks. He's got 10 sacks in the year. He's a really difficult guy to block one-on-one. Panthers offensive line is certainly going to have to be aware of where he is at all times. And our last question, what's your Thanksgiving meal hot take? This is a hot take for sure, and I know Cam Newton would not agree with me on this, but I think mac and cheese is an overrated side. I just do. I think more often than not, it doesn't deliver, and it's got so much notoriety. I just don't think it's quite as good as everybody makes it out to be. I'm much more of a stuffing, sweet potato casserole guy myself. So that's what I'm going to be hitting pretty hard on Thanksgiving. Thanks for the question this week, everybody. Doing it again next time, right here on Panthers.com.